Welcome to the Green Grind Podcast, where we discuss real experience, real struggles, and real business. My name is LeRoy Maines. I'm with Brilliant Porters Landscaping. And we have Kory Ballard, Perfect Cut Site Management, and Ballard Innovative Products. As always, we have Kaz, who's the brains of this thing, getting it from our mouth to your ears, and now eyes. And just a friendly reminder that the Green Grind is sponsored by Jobber. Today, Kory and I are just answering a few questions from social media. Kory threw a question out there for everybody on his stuff and on our Green Grind stuff, asking you guys to ask us some questions. And we got some personal questions. We've got a question here from Kory's wife, and we've got some questions from some of you guys as well, too. So she's got a lot of questions, I think.
We got all kinds of good stuff.
But anyway,
here.
all kinds of good ones here. So
Vargas sent us about 40 questions.
Yeah,
so Eric, we're going to get through not all of them, buddy.
Bro, calm down, brother. We'll see you at the gym, and we'll be happy to help you out, my friend.
He's a local guy, but he sent some really good questions.
He's got some great questions, actually.
We're going to work through as many of them as we can, and you guys seem to like the last episode where we did that. So we'll work through these, and I don't know, LeRoy, you want to kick this baby off?
Yeah, let's do it. So Justin Newman wants to know, what percentage of revenue would you budget for advertising, and would it change at different intervals?
I'll take that one, and then you can kind of tell me if you guys do any budgeting here. I mean, when I saw that one, I thought about it, and typically I can tell you it's no more than 2% of your annual gross revenue. But Justin, what I think about when I think of that is there's so many different aspects to advertising, right? So are you trying to grow your company, which means are you trying to get new work? And in that case, you might have to ramp up your marketing a little bit higher. Your newer company, you want to get new clients. If you're established, are you marketing for new clients, or are you branding? So at Perfect Cut, we don't really market as much for new clients now today, but we spend a lot of money on branding and getting our brand out there, and really spending a lot of time on celebrating our people. And when we show great people in our organization, then hopefully that relates to our clients. You know, you're on camera, right, LeRoy?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm doing some numbers here.
He's doing some numbers. Oh, good. So we spend a lot of time showcasing our people, and then I hope that, we hope that translates to having great people that care about the quality of work, care about our company, relates to doing good work. So it's hard to say an exact number because it depends on what you're trying to do. I mean, there could be a time where, let's say, LeRoy, you say, hey, man, we've got some new people. We really want to add another landscape crew or two. So we're going to spend this year, we're going to really ramp up, and we're going to spend more than we typically have because we really want to get that phone to ring. We really want to get our name out there. We want to really show people that we do high-end residential landscape construction, install work. And so I think every business ebbs and flows, but the numbers that I looked at, even on Ballard, it's 1% to 2% of gross revenue is the numbers I came up with when I looked at it, and I was trying to look back at Perfect Cut, what we spend. And then also kind of depends on what you're throwing in there. We do sponsorships, and we do some stuff with where we have some seats at Wells Fargo Arena for our employees to go to hockey games and concerts. And so we throw that kind of in the marketing budget, but technically it's really employee perks. And it also gets our name out there because our logo's on the signage and different things. So I guess the answer is really, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to get more work? Are you trying to build brand recognition? Are you also marketing for people? We spend a lot of money marketing for people. So every year it changes a little bit based on what we're trying to do with our company. Us being almost all commercial, it's a different. So we're really working on branding, and so 1% to 2% is my number. Again, it could be higher for a smaller guy. I mean, if you're trying to go out there and get a bunch more work, you want that phone to ring like crazy, you might have to jump that up a little bit. You know your numbers?
Yeah, well, I was just doing all the calculations here when you called me out on the deal. But we are this year budgeted, we have 1.5%, just a tad over 1.5% is what I was looking at. Yeah, and I can tell you in the past, we haven't budgeted near that number. We just signed up with a new marketing company this year because, to your point, our goal this year is to grow our business and grow certain sides of our business, substantially, and some of them we're going to stay stagnant on. But I believe you're exactly correct. It really depends on what you're going after, what type of business you want to grow. And then I think too, what are you including in that number? Are you including, branding is something completely different from advertising, from marketing? What are the differences in those? And I think we're going to talk about that some here on one of these podcasts. But what are you throwing into that? Are your vehicle wraps included in that?
How about marketing collateral? I think about marketing collateral. Everybody gets a packet, and we spend a lot of money on collateral. that we leave behind.
Yeah.
So is that marketing?
Yeah, business cards, all those different types of things. So I think there's a lot in there, but I think we're, 1 to 2%, I think is a pretty good number, just kind of depending on what you can do. And I know there have been years where we haven't advertised hardly anything. We have just a little bit here and there on our website, and once again, that could be considered branding, kind of depending on how you're looking at it. But, it varies in ours, but I would say on the highest end, 2%, I guess.
Yeah. Absolutely, and I agree with you. Where you put that in your P&L, I mean, there could be, you've got marketing, you've got business promotion, you've also got maybe website development, you've got vehicles, which to your point are vehicle wraps. Is that marketing? And it is, but where's it getting categorized
right, exactly.
in your spread or in your P&L?
Yeah, so I would say 2% maximum, and I think just make sure you're doing that. And one of the biggest things, and we'll ask this when we do something on advertising and branding, is how much of a return should that bring you? I think that's one thing to really look at. You can spend a lot of money and it doesn't bring you anything, so that's another thing to look at.
It's hard to measure that sometimes too. We used to ask people where they heard about us, so when they would call in, we would always ask, where did you hear about us? And they'd say, I just saw your trucks. And back then we were doing, the phone book, yellow pages, we had billboards. And so it was really hard for us to gauge where the work was coming from. We knew the phone was ringing. And so sometimes people would just say, I see your trucks. Well, they might have saw our trucks, but then they also saw a billboard. Then they also jumped online and we popped up high in Google, or maybe they, back in the old days, opened up the phone book and now we have a nice ad. So it all kind of just goes together.
Yeah, I'm sure you know as well too, but for you guys that don't, once you hire a marketing company or a company to help you with this stuff, ours anyway have taken different phone numbers and they tie those to certain ads so they know exactly how to track those things. So we see ads out there with for our business, but it's not our regular phone number, so they can track things that way.
That's a good point.
Well
way back when phone books were cool, I don't know if they were cool. When that was our marketing, we used a different phone number, and for one purpose only. I think back then it was Quest Dex, and they said, I said I can't keep spending $3,000 a month on this half-page full-color ad. I don't know what return I'm getting. And they said, would you be willing to let us change your phone number? Or, for this ad only, it will forward through, and so we could track it. I think we did that for one season to try to see, did that phone book half-page full-color ad generate real calls? And I don't remember exactly what the results were. I don't think it was anything astounding, though.
I think you said Dex. Dex, yellow pages. Remember that?
Quest Dex. DEX.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and then it was McLeod. And then they were bought out
eons ago.
Yeah, but we spent a lot of money on phone books back in the.
That was the thing. That's how you did it.
That was it, man. Pre all this good stuff.
All right, moving on. I think we beat that one to death here. So.